as a leader, and above that, as an institutional builder, policy maker, planner, and so on. So that's what I said. It is difficult for me to introduce him into 3 minutes or in 5 minutes of time, but I will try. So to begin with, a consultant to all the major international organizations, we call, which say World Bank, UNICEF, USAID, Commonwealth of Learning, UNESCO, Microsoft, and so on. Rich experience in education project design, strategic planning, and project evaluation. Authored, edited almost more than 25 plus books. A passionate and an expert on quality improvement in education. His latest book, which came out during COVID pandemic lockdown on total quality management from Sage, I'll suggest each one of you must read it, because each one of us, as individuals, as institutions, want to improve the quality of education, especially higher education. Many of us, when we were like talking, discussing about COVID-19 during lockdown and still now, what he did, he authored a book on education technology for the teachers. The draft is ready. It has gone for copy editing and proofreading. And I'm sure by the end of this year, the book will be out. And I have seen some of the chapters, very well, excellently written about education technology, which will impact each one of us. Last 1 or 2 points, because in the beginning only I said that it is difficult to introduce him in 5 minutes, and we have to listen to him. Another passion in his work is to improve the quality of rural primary schools. That's a very, very important area where he is working. So he's working with almost 100 primary schools in the villages, in the cluster of villages in Udang, Howrah, West Bengal, and must see how the quality of those primary schools in the rural areas it improved. Professor of management, but excelled by reading, working in education technology and distance education, and hence he was chairman for the National Open School of India. With these words, I will say it was difficult for me to introduce, but the second point, which I said, a pleasure is he's my teacher. So that's the biggest introduction for me. Sir, all of us from SENCA and from Bangladesh Open University, we welcome you.
Thank you.
And to my friends colleagues from Bangladesh Open University, this is the last day of your 4-day training program. All of you must have gone through the literature, the PowerPoints, the PDF slides, and so on and so forth, given by Professor Santosh Panda. But as Professor Manan, the Vice Chancellor of the university, said, that along with the self-learning material development, we need to learn the soft skills, life skills, employability skills, and we need to understand ourselves. That's also very, very important. So Professor Mukhopadhyay is here, who will be discussing about what is personal effectiveness, what is self, who am I? With these words, I welcome each one of you once again. Professor Mustafa, you want to add something?
Thank you very much, madam. Actually, I have been introduced with Sir for a few minutes in Scotland, and after talking to him uh, for a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because he was very much busy, everybody was sitting with him. So he gave me 10 minutes. And I talked to him, and I was dreaming that when we'll get him connected with us. So it is, when I saw his name in this workshop, I was really amazed to know that he is coming here for one day. Maybe in near future we'll get him more, but I don't actually. You told right. It is very difficult to describe his works. So a diverse area he covered, and the quality of work is fabulous. So I think I don't need to talk more here in the beginning. I just welcome my colleagues to this talk by this great academic leader. So I think we will get something special from him for sure. So that's why it is better to just stop here by welcoming my colleagues and welcoming Sir, because he's from Bengal, so it will be very easy for everybody to access to him, and we can communicate whatever language we feel comfortable. So everybody is comfortable in English, but if you like to speak in Bangla, so it is of course possible with him because he's from the Bengal. So thank you very much, and we may start now, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Should I start, Madhu? Should I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I had muted myself. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. It's my pleasure to be with you because I have not been to Bangladesh for some time now. I've been to Bangladesh earlier. And so you are most welcome to speak to me in Bengali, English, Hindi, whatever you want, including Urdu, which will be not very difficult for me to understand. But I know the cradle of Bengali is Bangladesh. We have imported from there. So I'll be equally comfortable with Bangla. What I'll do, and I can see I saw Shifan somewhere. I'm seeing her face after maybe 20 years. And of course, Manos I have been meeting. I've seen Mustafa was there. I think we met in Edinburgh, possibly.
Yes, sir.
All right. What we'll do is we'll mix it up with certain activities and certain exercises and talking mutually. Because I have a difficulty in believing that the speaker knows and the listeners don't. The difference is listeners don't let others know, they hide their knowledge, and speaker expose himself or herself. There was a label in my library in Nepal that don't speak, people think you are idiot, you will prove it. That's the risk of talking. Let us go ahead and maybe someone of you can keep on helping in this. I'll use a few PowerPoint presentation slides. And also there are inbuilt exercises which you can try, and maybe Manas can help in case there is a problem. Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first question is, what are your learning agenda for the session? আপনারা কি শিখতে চান? Madhu and Manas, either they understand or they misunderstand Bengali. That's not a serious problem. Of course,
Yeah.
Manas has to understand because he has half of it is Bengal. Yeah, start. Who is going to start? what are your agenda for this session? Please, one of you unmute and start talking.
Yes, yes. We are concerned about the quality issue of our audio program, because we have actually Bangladesh Open University has a lot of students all over the country, but we are like behind in the quality concern. So how to improve the quality issue on audio system?
Okay, I have asked the question, what are you learning agenda for the session?
I see.
That's your program agenda.
Okay. Sir,
Development of self-learning materials.
That's what I'm saying. That is your program agenda. You want to improve the quality. This session is on personal effectiveness.
Actually, sir, from this session, what I personally expect that we will learn something, how to mobilize our learners toward a kind of so how they will be empowered. So we have to manage them, we have to assist them. So from this session, we like to learn some tools, some techniques, some methods, which will help us to become a better learner, as well as will help us to assist our learners to become a learner again or better learner. Thank you very much.
Okay, who else?
Hello, this is Zubaida.
Yes, carry on.
This is Zubaida from BOU. Yeah, my question is, my expectation from this session is that regarding quality issues, we want to ensure quality. So irrespective of sex, gender, and ethnicity, how can I ensure the quality? Because we cannot adapt the same thing for quality to ensure the quality for all. So irrespective of sex, gender, there are poor, there are less opportunity people. So how can we ensure the quality for the all, and how to address all the students of BOU, to acknowledge them, to recognize them through our self-learning material.
Okay. All right, I'll again draw your attention. This session has been scheduled for looking at yourself, how to improve your personal effectiveness.
Sir,
Yeah,
I
please.
want to say something.
Sure.
From this session, we want to learn about the responsibility or effectiveness of a tutor or of a teacher to deliver his lecture or to present his or her course material to the student or to the learners. This is the session objective will be today, I think. Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Who else? Manas, you have any agenda?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I have very small agenda here in this session, that being an online and blended learning practitioner, and I just wanted to know from this session and learn from this session that how I will present myself as a facilitator, as a teacher, as a leader, thought leader for the teaching learning process, and as a curriculum developer. While I am transacting all these things, playing different roles, how I will present myself in special relation to the digital appearance, as well as with special relation to my communications, and with special relations to my cohesiveness, how I can maintain all these things for a better role player for different situations.
Good.
This is the
Anybody else?
Sir, I want to add one thing more, Zubaida.
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I asked is from teacher's perspective, how can I develop myself to make my learning material and my teaching method, everything is more inclusive? That is my question actually.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right. Madhu, you have anything to say?
Yes, sir. As the title of this session says, personal effectiveness. So I would like to learn that I know certain things that are good, my strengths or my weaknesses, but how can I make myself more effective at my work situation or in outside also? It is not only the work situation, but outside the work situation.
All right. Let us go forward and see. Let me tell you, as a teacher, I never promise to answer the questions. I only love getting questions. If I understand or if I know the answer, I'll share with you. Next important, what I thought I'll do, but I'll change with your input, I'll change. We'll have a few introductory questions. What is personal effectiveness? Dimensions and attributes of effective person. Assess your own personal effectiveness and improve your own personal effectiveness. Now, my long career with staff development in India and many countries, the self-development which Madam Jubeda Akhtar asked me is actually squarely dependent upon the individual himself or herself. Those who want to change, improve the change, they look for ideas from others. Nobody changes because somebody gives the ideas. Those ideas can be kept in the self, fully decorated or thrown out or absorbed. Whether you absorb or you throw out or you worship it, that is exactly the difference. So these are what I thought we'll do, but in between I'll incorporate the kind of questions that you asked me. Let's figure out what is personal effectiveness. Can you make some definition? Can you make some guesses? This is nothing very unusual technical subject of physics or biology. This is something to do with us. So what is personal effectiveness?
Can I speak, sir? Mustafa. Actually, what I understand, we have three types of in our life, part or three components. One is professional life, personal life, and private life. So
Good.
I think that the skills and other things which will actually make my job, my works, and my three parts of our life effective or meaningful. That
Good.
is what actually we have to know. So in personal effectiveness means to use all the skills, what is required or what I know for the benefit of these three parts of the life and to create a balance among these three.
Good. So you have already explained how important it is. So I'll go to the next. How would you rate your personal effectiveness? Let us see if you have to give a score out of 10. What will be your score? Yes?
It is
How would
difficult
you
to
rate
rate
your personal
myself.
effectiveness? Pardon?
It is difficult to rate personal
I know it is
effectiveness.
difficult, but then you have to do it.
So if I am confident, so I will rate myself 15. You said 15, no? Total?
10 out of 10.
Out of 10. So
Yeah.
about 8 above. 8 above. 8 to
8
9.
above. Okay.
Yes, because I
Good.
am
Okay.
confident. I am confident and I am ready to accept any change and I am very professional.
For me, actually, for me, it is not more than 5 because I always got a task to fill up the gap. So I always find a gap because I don't know the upper limit.
Dr. Amir Hussain? You have to unmute the mic. আপনার মাইকটা আনমিউট করতে হবে। In the meanwhile, somebody else.
Sir, I think this is a very critical question. There is no measurement tools to measure the effectiveness of personal activities. But there are some parameters to compare with others or to compare with assessment level. I think this is depend on his or her mental setup or mental preparedness. So this question is very much a complex question. Thank you, sir.
But okay, good. But let me tell you, there are many tests available. You can take the tests. I'll come to that at a stage where I say about measurement. Next question, what do your friend thinks about your personality? Like Zubeda madam said, she is about 8 and on said about 5. What do your friends think? How effective you are? Those who know you. That's why I'm not asking ki दुश्मन क्या सोचते हैं.
Good morning. I am Saima Ahmed from Bangladesh Open University. Can I speak now?
Yeah, please.
Actually, I was listening to my senior professors, and actually, I want to evaluate myself, but evaluating self is very difficult. So I want to answer the last question. What do your friends think of your personal effectiveness?
Yeah.
So as per my friends' evaluation, I always try to reach the further goals. I never stop learning, and I should, my personal opinion is that I should not stop learning, because every day we are learning something new. From this workshop, we had a great opportunity to learn so many things about the education systems, about writing the self-learning book, study materials. So my personal effectiveness is that I am in, I will give 5 out of 10. Thank
Okay,
you.
Dr. Mohsin, your mic is unmuted. Do you want to speak?
Oh, so yes, sir. Please, I think depends on internal and external behaviors.
Right.
So internal factors or behavior, maybe my friends cannot judge, and external behavior they can judge. So I think it is depends on external behavior. So our friends can judge and how can say estimate, or can say that my personal effectiveness.
Okay, you are familiar with the word 360-degree appraisal? Many of you must be.
Yeah.
So there is a concept and practice called 360-degree appraisal. Despite what we think, I mean, I can tell you from my experience as school teacher and college teacher, students know in and out of a teacher.
Yes.
They observe very carefully.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, they observe very carefully the teacher and makes out everything. Good, I'm glad. So these are, of course, I'll come back to this one. Now, let me start by saying what professional literature talks about. Dr. Amir, your mic was unmuted. Did you want to talk? Your problem in unmuting. Okay. We'll go ahead whenever you feel like, you let me know. First important definition that comes from the professional literature is personal effectiveness is making the best of what we have in us. Now, here is the catch which some of you are taking. What is the best we have? Do we know what you have the best in you? There are realized strength and there are also unrealized strength, which is in the stage of potential. So personal effectiveness is exactly that question. Like Professor Parha told you about my 5 months of work. I thought, why should I sit idle? I decided to write and I accomplished it, but I'll come back to that. Many of you have made very important statement. Personal effectiveness is exactly achieving goals set by you. What goal do you set? And setting the goal is not enough, but it must be, you must achieve with quality. That's important. And within the time frame that you decide. Again, I'll draw your attention to these 2 points. You decide the quality, you decide the time frame, not somebody else. And when you achieve, it should be to your satisfaction. There is a saying, and many of you have the experience, anyone who wants to please others at the cost of self never pleases the other and definitely displeases self. And any person who is unhappy about self cannot make others happy. These are certain basic principles because personal effectiveness is essentially centered around yourself, not about others. Never compete with others because, for example, all of you are now in distance education, but sometime you must have taught in the formal universities. You will find 4 teachers, all are excellent, but not similar. I was working in an institute where there are 4 excellent teachers. They are rated by participants excellent. One does not smile at all. Somebody else's class is all the time full of smile and laugh and wit and humor and still serious transactions going on. Both are effective because the 2 personalities are different. Next important point is compete with self because what you have achieved is not enough or that is not your potential. Your potential is much more. Like for example, when professor told you that I have written so many books or whatever, can you believe E.J. Eysenck, a very well-known psychologist, British psychologist, he authored 50 books, 500 articles in world's most renowned journals. And still he had the time to make fun around with people, with his family and everything. Now, if you compare yourself or myself with Eysenck, do you stand anywhere? But does it mean Eysenck was a genius? No. He made full utilization of his potentials. So important point is understand yourself, your realized and latent strengths. You have many more strengths which are still unknown to you. Like for example, whenever I ask a person in academic discipline, he will say, I'm a professor of such and such. I say, what else? Now maybe that he's actually a good musician. Now because he's a professor, forgets that he's a musician or she's a musician. And the important point is be better than yourself. What you are yesterday. A lot of people tell me, sir, we learn every day. I said, tell me what you have learned in the last 1 year. Can you list down? Now, the whole question is that when you talk of personal effectiveness, these are the fundamental principles that compete with yourself, be better than you. Don't have to be better than somebody else. This is exactly what we are talking about. You, yourself, and others, there's a need to match the knowledge. There is something that you know about yourself and others also know. That's the open. That's no secret. There's another domain about which one of you mentioned rightly. You know, but others don't. That's your secret. Now, that secret limits the others to know you, to make observation or help you to develop. There is a section which is you don't know, but others know. For example, many of your qualities, like for example, you might be extremely helpful to others, but you do not know that it is considered as a big quality, whereas for you it is a natural. If somebody is difficulty, you are helping, it is something natural, you don't bother about it. But others will know that you are a very helpful person. You are a good scholar. You think I'm a professor, so I read, so what is so great about it? But others will tell you, oh, so and so is a great scholar. That is your blind window. You don't know about yourself. And fourth window is neither you know nor others know. It's a dark and black hole. Now, when we start sharing with others, then this window, you know, others know, window increases. When you share your secret, for example, many of you had secrets, but you shared with one or two or three very close friends. So then this you know, others know window actually increases. And that makes you more open. When you ask others about you, then this window increases. You don't know, others tell you. So this window increases. So one of the important concepts of personal effectiveness, how much you can be open. How much you know about yourself, how much others know who tell you. I was, in fact, once I was talking in an event. My minister was there. After I finished, I told the minister, sir, it's your turn. He told me, very modest, he told me, I'm not an orator like you. Now, this is something interesting, that a minister knew that he's not an orator, and also he appreciated the person who spoke before. This feedback becomes very important. This is called Johari window. Joe and Harry, two psychologists, have developed this window. You can read, those who have interest on this. It's available on the internet. You don't have to buy books or anything. We talked about the strength. You have to understand what are your strengths. What do you love? Remember, whatever you love to do, you do it better. During my long career, I have seen one thing. हमारे जो बागीचे के माली थे, gardener, you don't have to tell them anything. They love so much what they do. I had, during my career, we had a Mali. We used to call him Bude Mali. He was very senior to me and all that. He will come to the room taking off his chappals and shoes like as if he's entering a temple. And he will come and say, sir, mujhe abhi ek Mali chahiye. Whatever is the time of the office, it doesn't matter to him. He will be right in the morning. Now, do you love that? When you talk of what do you love, like many of you asked a very important question right in the beginning. Remember, we in the profession, academic profession, belong to 4 categories. One category is called occupation. We want to do something, so we are occupied. Second type is called vocation. They do something and thereby they will call, I'm a teacher. Third is a professional who adds value, ethics to what they do. Fourth is a passion, where it doesn't matter whether I get anything, I don't get anything, I do it because I love it. So first important question you have to figure out, what do you love? You must be loving something or the other. What comes naturally to you? Many of you are very good speaker, not that you plan for it or you know that you are a good speaker, it is natural to you. That's your strength. Do you know of people who share your strengths? What do they do? What do others say about you? What do you dislike? Just as you have, I've asked you a question, what do you love? Similarly, what do you dislike? I have no hesitation to tell you, in my profession, I love reading, writing, teaching, but the moment it comes to assessment, I don't like it. So whenever university assessment is not compulsory, I have never taken. I've taken my internal assessment because that is my natural duty. What role do you take in a team? I've given this, the connectivity. Those of you who want to see the full share, you can go to this personal effectiveness slide. Plant your strength. How would people who know you well describe you? Probably not as, etc. For example, Professor Parhar had the responsibility to describe me. So that is how I know what people think about me. Similarly, you need to know how people will introduce you. This is an important question. We have been doing some research on the employability. Employability, we divide into 3 levels. We did a project in 2015, very large project of 4,600 teachers, 4,392 precisely. We call employability at 3 levels. First level is getting an employment, getting a job. Second is retaining a job. Of course, fortunately in Bangladesh and India, if you get a job, it stays with you. Whether you perform or you don't perform doesn't matter. And third is getting promoted on or advancing in the career. Now, for example, when you look at employability, what makes a person succeed in an interview? I've done a lot of workshop on interviewing and also research. The meta-research world over indicates that first 3 minutes, the decision making is done. Remaining time, the committee justifies the decision to select or not to select, whatever it is. So what do you do in 3 minutes? Your power of communication. You prove how knowledgeable you are, how competent you are, and all you do it in 3 minutes. Now that is something, so we have been able to identify a series of skills like communication, learning to learn, self-management. There are a lot of candidates who come and become nervous. They know, but they cannot express. Problem solving, initiative and enterprise, and so on. If you want, you can see my report, our report. There are 10 skills. Some skills are necessary to get an employment. Some skills are necessary to stay on employment. Like if you are not a team member, chances are you will find it very difficult or dissatisfying your job. And to progress, you need planning, management, leadership skill, initiative and enterprise, critical and creative thinking. So there are certain skills which you need to move forward. Personal effectiveness incorporates the following goals. The first important thing is you need to set goals, develop a positive self-perception. Now, unless you think positively about yourself, that you are competent, you are a good person, it's very difficult. Deliver high quality work. I mean, the point which you have been saying that how do you build up high quality material and motivate students and so on and so forth. This is definitely is the area which I'll come back. Make people happy. There is a saying in leadership science that when you are in a position, sometimes look back and you'll find if people are following you, you are a leader. If you are running alone, you are a sprinter. Problem is many highly academic scholars are sprinters, they are not leaders. They don't make people happy. They want to do themselves and they go on and on. Influence people positively, particularly, for example, any teacher among you who is able to inspire. You don't need to teach anymore. An inspired person knows how to learn, how to find information, learn. Your teaching is no more necessary. I often refer to a very interesting episode. Dr. Amartya Sen, after he got his Nobel Prize, I know his teacher. He went to Bangladesh because he was in a primary school in Bangladesh. and he went to touch the feet of primary school teacher, his primary teacher in Bangladesh. He came back and then he met his university professor, Professor Tapos Mujumdar, who was, now what did that Bangladesh teacher taught him? He can't teach economics. He only made an impression in his mind that Amartya, you are very good and you will be able to do something in life. Now that inspiration is more important than inspired person can learn economics or physics or chemistry. Earn respect from colleagues, advance in career, which I told you about, create and keep successful relationships. Many of us, we are not able to maintain the relationships. You will normally find, whether you like or you don't like, politicians are excellent in this. They are able to keep excellent relationship with people, including the opposition. And that is the typical skill that they have got. Many vice chancellors have to have that skill because they're in the leadership position. They have to get work done. Become an expert in a specific field. Normally, we do a lot of things, but don't specialize. Yes, I read different things, I learn different, but I specialize in education management and education technology, 2 areas. And when I say specialization, we normally would say, what is your writing? What is your research? So talking is not expertise. What is important is, do we have documented evidence? Some of you mentioned, I'm just repeating it, that personal effectiveness is not only in professional life. It's professional life, it's home life, and the social life. In professional life, are you happy? Do you have employability? And making a difference. This is, third point is extremely important. This is one of the skills of 21st century learner. For example, today, how many of you don't know the name of John Daniel? Anyone? John Daniel, you all know, not because he was a professor, not because he was vice chancellor, but he has made a difference in open and distance education.
He was the president of CORE.
Pardon?
He was the president of CORE, Commonwealth of Learning.
He was Commonwealth. That's what I'm saying. He was Commonwealth of Learning president, UK Open University. But he made a difference. That is the important point. You can do the difference without being vice chancellor. How many people are mentioning you, referring you? Home life, again, happiness, togetherness, and security. Social life, again, you can see common factor is happiness. So important point is, if you are not happy, very high chances are that you are not personally effective.
Yeah.
Happiness is the common factor. Then home life is togetherness. Social life is something else. Professional life is something else. So this is something which we need to. This is another, that success is not key to happiness. Many people confuse that I'm not happy because I'm not successful. Now, Switzer talks about that success is not the key to happiness, but happiness is the key to success. So one of the important things is to learn how to become happy. So this cartoon is very interesting. I liked it. Where did you find that? I've been searching for it, and that is happiness is searching. And the other person, I created it myself. Are you able to create happiness? Every situation has opportunity of happiness or otherwise. Remember, event does not create either happiness or sadness. It is the way we interpret the event. The way you interpret the event, that creates the happiness. For example, there are many teachers, when they face difficult question, they get excited about it. And there are teachers who get very angry when they get a difficult question. Common is difficult question. But a teacher gets excited, oh my God, what a question. Feels happy. These are the basically three pillar concept. One is understanding and personal effectiveness, focus, and AI. I come to this point where I want you to take an exercise, assess your personal effectiveness. I've given three different tests. Some of you said there is no test. Actually, there are a large number of tests. And I'll suggest you can choose any one of them and let the learning have some little fun element. I'll discuss about it, but I give you 10 minutes to choose any one of them and take the test. Can you click and take?
Sir, we cannot copy. So how to enter this website?
Okay, the other alternative you write https:// wing seminar.
Sir, you
I can open it, but then you won't
sir,
be able to answer in my
sir,
laptop.
Sir, you can copy and put into the chat box so that people can open. Just you can copy and put into the chat box.
We will be able to get that from the chat box.
Copy करने के लिए I'll have to come
right
back
click
here.
and copy the link, sir. You can right click and copy the link on the link. So on the link, if you right click, it will say copy the link. Then you can put, or you can select and copy.
इसको ये कर दे. इसका लिंक मिनिमाइज. यहाँ से तो कॉपी नहीं होगा.
करो अभी तो वो लोग है ना.
वो तो ये हो जाएगा.
Or you can say open the link and you can take the link from the browser and copy and put it in the chat.
Copy.
Send it on the chat box.
Copy.
Chat box. More.
Yeah.
Stop sharing.
You don't need to stop share. The chat is there. You see the chat icon and click there and put it there.
Send.
Yes.
Just see, I have sent it on the chat box. If you can find that.
Yes, sir. It is now available. So, sir, everybody should enter into the link and they have to just assess their effectiveness or not? Everybody, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Where is the screen sharing?
Sharing हो रहा है इसीलिए तो stop sharing का option आ रहा है.
No, but it should be whole. It should be full screen. तभी होगा.
Full screen का stop option हुआ.
Now it has stopped. Are you able to open? I have sent you one. Yes, just take that one.
Yes, sir. We are working on that.
And
Sir, we are able to open this link.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, Airtel,
Ah.
702.
Ah. One thing chair no, a chair. Is it working?
For me, no. I've been
Yes,
trying.
yes, sir. I am.
Yes, sir, it is working.
Able to work.
We are working. Okay. Okay, it should take about 5-6 minutes. Madhu, you have been able to open?
No, I haven't tried. I didn't open it.
Okay.
I could
Okay
not
now.
get.
Yes,
could
it
not-
is working now.
Ready to?
I could not get in the chat box.
Okay, what you do, if you are not able to do, you take these 3 links from Manas, and then you can try at your leisure time, because I do take many of them just for fun. It gives a good indication. And when we finish, let me know so that we can move forward. ওই তো সামনেই রয়েছে এখানে বিবেক বসে anyway লিফট করো Please let me know when you're finished.
If any one of you have finished, then we can move forward. He or she can give the results. So
Yes, I have finished.
Yes,
Yes, I have
I
finished.
have finished.
Okay, what's the result?
I don't know.
No, once you submit, you'll get the result.
Yes, submitted.
Check your mail.
It will come back to you on email.
Check your mail, you will get.
All right, you can see the result whenever. How did you like the exercise? What is your reaction to the exercise?
Excellent.
How did it help you? I mean, score is one question, but did it help you?
Yes, it helped me to innovate myself, to know thyself, to to know thyself.
Okay.
According to
It is actually,
Socrates.
it is actually helping me finding my own elements, what I actually have, what abilities I have, and what is are the gaps in me. So it is a kind of exercise which actually engage myself to think about myself very much meaningfully and structurally.
Yeah.
It's good, sir. Good exercise.
Yeah, these tests help us to reflect on ourselves because it asks a question to us. And then we need to introspect and figure out how do I respond to the question. And particularly when these questions are asked to yourself and you have nobody else to respond, as honestly as you answer, you get the better picture of yourself.
Right.
I mean, there are actually lots of tests, but at the same time, I would like to tell you that when you take a psychological test, remember, unlike physical measurement, which is very accurate, if you measure the length of a table, every day it will come to 3 feet. But if you measure yourself on the same scale, every day it will not be. Because human has a mind which a table does not have. So happy mind will score one way, depressed mind will score another way, afraid mind will score third way. So what you get out of this is more of an idea, assumption, or you can say estimate, but not exactly measurement. So don't go literally by the score. If somebody has got 75, somebody has 76, don't think that 76 is better than 75. All right, we'll now move to the next stage, that is how to improve our personal effectiveness. Because ultimate objective is improving, in which understanding personal effectiveness, assessing your personal effectiveness are important requirement. Should we go to this or you are still busy with the testing?
Okay, yes.
Okay. First important thing, as we mentioned earlier also, identify and play on your strengths. For example, all of you and me and Dr. Madhu and Manas, we are all in the profession of academics. In academics, we can do teaching, reading, teaching, research, writing. What is your area of strength? Can you play on that? Now, that is first important thing is you have to identify what is your strength. And that identification must be fairly objective. Use your energy wisely. It is very similar to budgeting that you do at home for your money. Where do you spend the amount of money that you have and to which benefit? For example, many of you, when your children started going to school, you invested more on them, depriving yourself because you are investing. Similarly, your energy has a limited capacity. How wisely do you invest your energy? I often experienced during my career, some of the very successful administrators, the moment it is 5 o'clock, they are out for socializing, building connections. Many of us, the moment it was 5 o'clock, we thought, hey, it's a good time for researching or reading. So depending upon that, what is your priority, you engage yourself. Manage your body and mind. I mean, I am not entitled to talk on this subject, particularly the body, because unless you're healthy, it's very unlikely that you can achieve much. I mean, you all are familiar with Swami Vivekananda, who is known as an icon, religious icon, but he said that bread is better than God. And rather than reading Gita, you go and play football. He was emphasizing on the health. Now, this is one very important thing. Many of us in the academics, we don't bother about the body and the mind. Is the mind healthy enough, strong enough? keep learning. This is another point. Many of us, we are actually learned people. We are not learning. And many, I know all of the people, they claim, no, no, sir, we are learning every day. I said, okay, list out what you have learned. I mean, what Dr. Parha told you about me, I learned one thing, that 5 months, 22 weeks precisely, into 7 days, how much does it make? 140 and 40, 154 days. 154 days without break, 10 hours a day, I worked. I learned not the subject, I learned I can work. And once it was over, I'm relaxed. Manage time and stress. I couple these two things because stress is also linked to the time management. Are you able to finish in time what you want to do? There are a lot of people I've seen in that people say, read slowly and learn better, which is exactly opposite of reading science. The average reading speed of a Western scholar is about 300 words a minute. For us, it is about 150 words a minute, and it is nothing fixed, it can be learned. Now, the moment I'm able to read at 225 or 250 words a minute, I'm saving 1 minute. For every 2 minutes, when somebody spend 2 minutes, I finish it in 1 minute. Or 2 hours, 1 hour, so I've created 1 hour. So it's important to figure out how to manage time. I mean, this is not a time management session. Otherwise, I do take sessions on time management, stress management. The other important thing that you are working in a good university, you know, cooperating and collaborating is necessary for personal effectiveness. You cannot do anything alone anymore. Because, for example, when you say, I want to produce a good quality material, but your student is not taking your material only. They're taking material of Juveda, Professor Ekramul. So the question is, they are taking material from 10 people. So how does it matter whether your material is excellent and not somebody else? So that is why cooperation and collaboration becomes necessary condition. The second set is more about your work, set and display goals. Set goals, as I mentioned, I decided that within 6 months, I'll finish my book. If you read many of the scholars, they always say, don't set goals without displaying. So they say, create a poster and put it before in the wall so that it keeps on reminding you. Otherwise, I have a friend, young friend. If you ask him, sir, what about your books? He will say, oh, I have got 3 books. He said, what are those? He will tell you the title. Can I see them? Oh, no, they are in my mind. So the books in mind does not work. It has to be on paper, on laptop. So first important thing, set goals. When you set goals, my normal practice is set goals which are high enough to be ambitious, but low enough to be achievable. At one stage, I set goal like I think I'll write 50 books. Then I realized it's not possible by me. And no question of external alibi, that capability, skill, commitment, I don't have. Set goals. Similarly, when you set goals, deconstruct the goal into small things. For example, when you are writing a book, break it down to deconstruct it to chapters. Deconstruct chapters into headings and subheadings. So there are many people, they say, I want to write a book, but they can't write. When they ask me, how do you write a book? I said, because I never write a book. I write a subheading. First, I deconstruct it, pick up a subheading, which I can finish in 1 hour. I'll give myself 2 hours. So that there is no question of my failing. Success is necessary to succeed. Plan ahead and become super organizer. Think ahead of time. Take, for example, another example from our own field, which I like to share with you. That is, for example, when you go to an international publisher, sorry, just a second. When you go to an international publisher, it's a very good thing because they will first ask you a proposal. That proposal takes 1 month for them to decide whether they will publish that kind of a title. Then they will ask you, they will go send it for blind review to an expert. After that, they will ask you to write the chapter. So this is a very good plan, whether you go to Sage or to Routledge or to Springer or to Cambridge University Press, all of them have this practice. Now, this is externally imposed plan ahead. But can you plan ahead yourself whenever you are doing without any external pressure? Define your own criteria for evaluation. How would you know that you have achieved the quality and the time? What are your criteria? Let me tell you, the criteria also evolves. If you don't take it otherwise, I used to publish from Indian publishers. One of my books was published by Sage, and this book will become global. Then I realized, okay, I can be a global author. Now the next book I'm doing, my publisher is asking, why are you so finicky about it? I said, now I've known I can be a global author. So I've learned new things. So I set up criteria. He said, we'll do best possible by us. I said, sorry, that is not enough. It has to be error-free. So define your own criteria, accept responsibilities both for achieving as well as for failure, not just one of them. Stay on track under pressure. Many of you must have seen, and I've been talking to many of my friends, vice chancellor, directors of institutions. They always say that, oh, we get so many distractions. Now, it's very normal. How do you learn to track under pressure, stay on track under pressure? So I read a very interesting about flight. The flight was taking off from London to New York. After it took off, there's a wind blast. So it turned the aircraft towards right. So again, the autopiloting came and brought into the focus. After some time, there's a huge pocket. So he had to take a turn and again get into the track. So this is a very beautiful way that autopiloting and the pilot, they keep on doing autopiloting can take you to the straight path till the time you are not pressured. That is the question. Similarly, I was telling you that my Mali, we all loved him. He's a little hard of hearing. So he comes and shouts. I was the joint director. I was seriously working on my book. He will come and say, sir, mujhe ek Mali de dijiye, abhi chahiye, and all that. If I say, okay, I'll tell you, I'll tell the office, then no, sir, abhi bata dijiye. So I'll tell them. And he will get it. And then I come back to my book writing. I cannot tell Mali that abhi nahi, abhi main kitab likh raha hu. So that pressure will come. Set deadlines and manage time. This is very important. Although I told you about my consulting work, I've been a consultant for last 30 years or so. There have been many occasions where I really struggled with my deadline. And many of my friends advised me that why don't you ask for extension? They will give you the extension. I said, I know they will be nice to give me the extension, but I won't be nice to myself if I ask for extension. If I set a deadline, I must honor it and deal with failure. Failure is a big opportunity to celebrate. In my cardinal principles in quality management, I use it as one of the cardinal principles of quality management is celebrate failure. Failure is a great learning opportunity. Failure is only one more opportunity to learn. So these are a couple of things, and as you can see, one side it is about yourself, on the other side, how you manage the work. Let us see if you can see this movie. This is just 2-3 minutes. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Just watch.
No, we are not able to see the movie.
There is no movie. There is a picture.
No, movie is...
One step at a time.
Pardon?
There is a picture. One step at a time. There is no movie.
Text. There is a text, no movie.
Okay, it is playing here. Let me see whether I can share the...
You have to go through VLC media, VLC.
Sir,
Pardon?
what you can do, you can...
VLC.
If
sir,
you can send in
unshare
chat
the
box,
screen.
we will click here.
It can be played here, sir. You can unshare the screen, then share again. Just open the movie and then share again.
The link.
I think the sound will, yeah. Or share the link on the chat box, what Dr. Manu said, we can watch by ourselves.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. You share the link and we can watch later.
Yes, this is the best option.
You have the link with you, Madhu. You can share it.
I don't have. I will not be able to copy it. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Chat. Just see the chat.
Yes, got it.
Yeah. Please watch the video. It's just 2-3 minutes only, but beautiful video.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay, sir. It is over now. That video.
Okay. So you go back.
Yeah, we can move forward on your slides.
Yeah. Now, how do you go back to slide?
কি হলো এটা আমার? সময় ভেঙে ফেলতেছে কেন?
And just I think you have to click on the mouse.
ভারী লাগছে।
Yeah.
আমি খুব বিপদে বসছি এটা। কি জিকে ডাকলো তো কি জানবে না।
Trying post attendee Zoom कहाँ गया? Stop here, remote control, more.
না না তো বাবা রে,
Record,
10
stop
ঘন্টা
recording,
লাগাই।
wait.
না নাকি আমার চেয়ে ভালো বুঝবে নাকি? বুঝবে আমার চেয়ে দেরিতে
Okay,
বুঝবে।
what are your comments on this? How do you find this? Can you hear me?
Every day, a single step will eventually reach you to the goal of success.
Sir, I am Dr. Ashraf.
Just a second, I have lost the connection somewhere. Yeah.
So I was, as I watched the video, I found that every single step a day will eventually lead us to the peak of success.
Right.
But we have to have trust, and we have to have the perseverance to reach the goal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, sir. I am Dr. Ashraf, sir. From the video, I learned that success depends on your action. What types of action, it will be depend on your different factors. What's your position, what your time management, what your personality, what your effectiveness, so and so.
Yeah.
So success depends on your action. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Yes. Any other comment? All right.
Yeah,
my
please?
submission. Yeah, please.
Morning, Doug. Actually, what I try to do is, amid so many impediments and all, I try to take one day at a time. It's not, I have got the goal set and everything is okay, but there are things that may come on your way, which are unpredictable. Therefore, for myself, what I do is one day at a time, and then be persevering. I have to persevere, and then believe in myself that I can do it eventually, and be happy. It's not always I have to do it, but I will try to do it, and I will do it. It's not that pressuring myself or putting stress on myself that I will have to do it. No, I will do it. I want to do it. I'm happy with it. So there is the goal set, and I just want to take one step at a time, and let's see where we end up. That's how I take things in my life.
Here, the observation is, as I mentioned to you, that when you deconstruct, then goals become smaller, which is achievable, but accumulatively they achieve the total.
Yes, absolutely.
Because as I mentioned to you, there are many friends of mine who want to write a book, but they could never write a book because they did not know how to deconstruct, how to set smaller goals, achieve smaller goals to reconstruct the whole.
Absolutely.
The whole science is deconstructing to begin, step by step, and reconstructing to complete. If you take these 2 points, deconstructing to begin and reconstructing to end, you will get a very fruitful idea.
Yes.
Madhu, how many minutes are left?
We have about
Your mic is not on.
38 minutes.
Your mic is muted.
Okay. Yeah, so the program is till 12 o'clock. So for you, as we suggested, till 11:30, but maybe the questions the colleagues asked from Bangladesh Open University, we need to answer those also. I will request you to answer because you have a passion about quality.
Okay, I'll keep couple of things, like skip couple of things. What would you do to enhance your personal effectiveness? This is something which you can collect from Madhu or Manas and fill up your own. I'll recommend to you a beautiful book that I read, Jeremy Harbinson. Can you see the link? If you don't
Yes,
get,
we
you
can.
just copy down Personal Effectiveness by Jeremy Harbinson. It's a very small book, 56-page book, out of which more than 50% is illustration only, not much of writing. It's a good one. Similarly, you can read this article at Habits for Wellbeing so that you get a capping of what we are discussing today. And particularly, I recommend you to Harbinson's book. It's a beautiful book that you will definitely enjoy. I'll finish this by saying, welcome tomorrow. I'm not saying thank you because personal effectiveness doesn't finish. It only starts every time, every day, every morning, it starts again. So I'll say welcome tomorrow, and then we'll, whatever time is available, we'll use it for responding to questions. And also I'll have to complete, because you have asked certain things in the beginning. They are about quality, about the learner, effectiveness of teacher, and self-development. What you did just now is self-development. But some of you, I mean, many of you can do, there is actually a whole range of writing on self-development by Wayne Dyer, Malcolm Gladwell, many of them are there, which you can read yourself and build up your skills, competence further. Because whole question is your internal skill, particularly believing that what you are today is not the end of you. There are enough. If we take to scientific thing, then very simple answer would be that what we have been able to achieve in humankind is about 11% brain neurons activation, which means 89% are still dormant. Imagine if 11% creates somebody like Professor Muhammad Shah Alam, what will Alam become if it is 12%? This is 11% only, 9%. So we need to figure out that one, that how to excite ourselves. This is one important point that we need to understand. Let me tell you, after working on books and writing, and I have a book on higher education also, quality management in higher education. You may like to look at those books. But important point is quality is not a destination, it's a journey. Whatever you do, you can do better. How do you set yourself on the path of journey? For example, in my India, when many people talk about, oh, we are doing this, that, etc., I normally say, in a 1.3 billion country, becoming a mega university is no great deal. Because whole Europe you put together, it will not become one India. Question is not mega university. If you put the international literature on open and distance education, UK Open University, in India's terminology, Pakistan, Bangladesh terminology, is a small university. Their alone production will be balancing the production of the rest of the world. Now, I assure you, having been to many of these, talent-wise, they are no better than any one of us, except they have known how to manage the talent, how to make best use of talent, which we have not been able to do. Quality is a journey and you need to practice it over a period of time. For example, when I started writing, before that I started reading good papers by good authors whom I want to model. So there's a way of learning. Say, for example, when you say quality learning material, today it is available. UK Open University, Athabasca, all these are available. Athabasca's Telmuk is a good program, and there are a lot of participants from Bangladesh, India. I see no reason why Bangladesh cannot create such a program in Bengali. Because then a lot of students, a lot of teachers who cannot access the Canadian accent will find it more convenient. Effectiveness of teacher, as we discussed so far, unless we are personally effective, we won't be able to be effective. Teacher is also a person. An unhappy teacher at home cannot be a happy teacher at the institution. So I'll stop here to take few questions from you so that you can manage your time, because for you it is already 12. Mine is only 11:30.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure, please do.
Okay, this is Professor Dr. Shalom Sarkar. Actually, I want to make one thing more clear from you, because today's session you did a very good job, excellently. So thank you very much for your nice presentation. Actually, I want to get a clarification about this: how personal effectiveness helps to develop better self-learning materials in for the ODL, or the open and distance learning. So my question is, how personal effectiveness helps to develop better self-learning materials for ODL? Thank you very much.
Good. Firstly, when you say self-learning material development, you are setting goal.
Yes. Yes.
If you remember what I talk to you all the time, like I set a goal of writing a book. You are setting a goal of writing self-learning material. They are adding the point quality.
Yes.
Right? So you have to first figure out what do you mean by quality. Because unless you create a measurable characteristics, take for example, I'll say I'll do 500 referencing.
Yes.
That's my, you may not agree with me. You can say 300 is enough, fair enough. I'm not talking about that. But you need to fix up a set of criteria. What do you mean by what is quality self-learning material? You have used two words. Self-learning material, which means a student will be able to learn by himself or herself.
Yes.
Second, you are saying quality. If you link this up to,
yes,
then it means that if a material can successfully lead a student to learn by herself or himself, that's the quality self-learning material. So set the target, break it down to, as I said, deconstruct it. Take, for example, your self-learning material. Internationally, there is an introduction. What is that introduction? You can use Ashubel's advanced organizer. You can use conventional introduction. You decide. For example, I finished my book. Every book, it begins with a concept map. Normally, books में नहीं होता है. If you look at my chapter, the concept map will tell you what is this chapter all about. I have decided no books have it. So important point is you need to decide your own criteria. For example, when I work with the teachers, I essentially ask them to have graphic organizer. Develop skill in graphic organizer. Learn some of the concept mapping tools, or you can do, there are many graphic organizer softwares. So my submission is you set up your goal, spell it out in terms of quality, spell it out in terms of time, decide the mechanism. Like, for example, I have written the book, I have already sent to many people for review, like Professor Parha told you. Similarly, a professor in British Columbia University is reviewing my book. They're giving me feedback. Decide whom do you want to consult. Because quality, if you want to do, you need to consult somebody else, some other. And preferably, consult who are better than you, not who will admire you. Because admiring does not help you to improve. Does it make sense, Professor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Prof, I have a question.
Yeah.
Hello. Prof, I am
Hello.
Dr. Mohammad Johir Rayhan. I am Dr. Mohammad Johir Rayhan, Associate Professor, School of Business, Bangladesh Open University.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your nice presentation. Actually, I got some point from your discussion. I got if any people or any teacher have determination, self-confidence, optimism, managing skills, problem solving, time management, planning, creativity, and self-motivation, etc. If he has this kind of characteristics, is a personal effective people. So as a teacher, how can I'll achieve all kinds of character? Can you explain? Because you have a lot of experience. So
Somebody
actually,
has to interpret it because the voice is breaking. Somebody has to say it again.
Can I?
Voice is,
You can speak in Bangla, so that's okay. Maybe that will
Prof,
make it.
No, voice was breaking.
Okay, okay, no
Bangla
problem.
is not a problem.
Okay, I'm trying again. Actually, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for your nice presentation. Actually, I want to say, I got some information from your discussion. If I have personal effect, if I will be a personal effective people, I need determination, I need self-confidence, optimism, managing stress, persistence, problem solving, and time management, planning, creativity, etc. But as a teacher, how can I achieve this kind of characteristics for my future life? Can you explain? Because you have a lot of experience.
Yeah. Well, frankly speaking, the way you approach life and the activities. For example, yesterday night I was reviewing some learning designs. First important point is to trust. I can solve problem or I can face the problem. Now, my point is that whenever we are working, the personal effectiveness is exactly that we can take the challenge, we can solve it, and motivation is something which does not need to be external, it can be internal. And you will appreciate, Professor, that whenever you are able to achieve something, you get motivated. That makes you do the next work. So that is exactly the point of personal effectiveness is you must set goals and must achieve. It's better to set smaller goals, achieve, and then increase the complexity of goal rather than setting difficult goals but not achieving. I mean, performance must be a habit. Success must be a habit. And you will find every successful people are always very motivated because they go beyond the profession to become a passion. Well, I could answer, I know partly because actually the voice is breaking. I'm not getting the full question. Anyway, somebody else?
Can
and
I
you
say
can write to
something?
me.
Can I say? Sir, can I say something? 1 minute?
Yeah.
Zubaida.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for your motivational lecture. It seems to me very pragmatic. That truth is workability. It refreshed my mind and my strength during COVID period. I love to have your presentation. If I get the opportunity, I'll be grateful to you. And it is my observation, not question. And another thing, so I love the most importantly, it encouraged me the point that deal with failure, which I practice every day. When I do something smoothly, it doesn't give me any satisfaction. When I fail, it gives me the strength. Can I give a small example recently with me?
Yeah.
So I made a video for peace education. I am a peace education member of IWPG, International Women Group of South Korea. So I recorded my video, but I don't know how to edit. I never edited. I did it professionally. So I asked 3 members of my home. They are very much digital friendly. I told that please say that how can I edit. They told me that you need software, but I think I can do. I started from 10 to midnight 3, and finally I achieved to edit, and I sent the presentation to South Korea at 3 a.m. So I was too much satisfied. So failure always give me strength, and I love the point in your presentation. Thank you very much, sir. It is my I am honored to hear your presentation and lecture. Thank you.
You must remember that this is your tenacity and perseverance. These are 2 very important qualities for success.
I love to fail always. I don't want anything smooth. I don't know. It's my credit or discredit. I don't know. I love to fail.
It's creditable. Remember, no artist, no creative person can be creative without tenacity. Tenacity, perseverance with one thing.
I know I have started painting and craft during COVID. So I am doing my painting and it is becoming more professional. I'm doing painting. So it's I have to fail. Thank you very much, sir.
Good, good. Anybody else? I think Madam Saima is ready with something because she has got a smiling face to speak.
Actually, I am smiling because I agree with Zubaida Appa, and I like her so much because of her perseverance, because of her foresightedness, and whatever good positive things she has. So I was smiling that I do the same things during the COVID period. I have tried so many new things which I did not try earlier. I wanted to spend my time in a very worthy way, taking my classes in a better way. As I had the internet facilities, I wanted to make it much more activity-based classes. And so I was laughing for that. And thank you so much for this last
I'll tell you,
session.
You are smiling because you are happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I am happy that she is doing the same thing, and I am doing the same thing. And these sessions, Professor, this session was very much to my opinion is that this session was very much important for all of us because we are teachers, we are researchers, and we are always busy with our professional works. And when we are I'm going to some extent in this point that when we are women, we have our own family life, we have household chores to do. So
we
it's
also
very,
have.
Yeah. Okay, sir, that's good. Sharing is a very good
At
thing.
last, Ikramul is smiling. Can I hear your voice smiling, Ikramul? Tumpa, you have something to say? Be in the queue for after Ikramul. Yeah.
So thank you, sir, for the motivational session for today's session. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Ikramul is on the queue. Yes.
বাংলাতেই বলতেছি, ম্যাডামের কথা শুনে হাসতেছিলাম। এই জিনিসগুলো সবার জন্য
জোরে জোরে শোনা যাচ্ছে না। যতটা বড় স্মাইল অতটাই জোরে বলতে হবে।
ম্যাডামের কথাগুলো শুনে হাসতেছিলাম, আর আপনি হঠাৎ করে বললেন যে আমরাও করি, বলতেছিলাম শুধু মেয়েরা করতেছি, আপনি বললেন আমরাও করি, এসব শুনে হাসতেছিলাম।
Yeah. Okay, good. Anybody else? Salma, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you so much for giving me the cue.
I'm taking your name simply because I'm much more aged than all of you put together.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. I belong to the School of Social Science, Humanities and Language. And I just wanted to add a little bit here that I had, like you said, tenacity and perseverance. This is what my mom used to tell me all the time. I have to be a little personal here because I'm being the only child of my parents. I have lost my dad, who was an MPhil from Cambridge University, and he has left me 3 years ago, and mom left me this January on the 15th, and she was a physicist. She was a university professor, and it reminds me that when we talk about failure and everything, and when I said I take a day at a time, one day at a time, I literally meant every bit of it. And I'm a little, I'm a little uneasy to talk about it because it brings me so many things into my mind. But these two words, I have lost mom during just before COVID, and tremendous 21 days in the ICU with her. And after that, I thought I will not be able to stand on my feet ever again. I'm very close to my parents. I have done my PhD from Nottingham University, UK, and I returned to Bangladesh for Bangladesh Open University and for my parents, to be very, very honest.
Good.
And as long as I was with the session, I have given every moment of my existence here during the session, because all of these words and all of the statements that we made here today, this was it was revitalizing for myself, my own personal mechanism, because I have been through a lot, and this is a reminder that when I said one day at a time, and when you talked about, like, I repeat, perseverance and tenacity of purpose, this is what my mom would say, Professor Khalida Begum. She would say, if you have tenacity of purpose, you can do everything. You will achieve there. Any good thing that you decide to do would come on your way, this way or the other. So this session particularly, thank you so very much. It has been very fruitful for myself, because I thought I won't be able to do anything at all ever. And thanks again. I mean, I'm a little shaky right now, but I just wanted to share this with everyone else, so that there is no stop in life, no stopping in life. We can go on.
Good.
Thank you so much.
You can ask me question till the time Professor Parhar stops us.
Okay.
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 Professor Mustafa,
So, madam,
you have
you can
any...
proceed. Yeah.
No, you
my
have any question?
Okay, madam. Thank you very much. Actually, from this workshop, actually, it was a little bit confusing how to find our own elements, how to identify our own abilities. That is the first thing. If you cannot identify our own elements, then how we'll proceed further? So from this workshop, at least from this test, what's sir shared with us, so I will try it again. This test actually helped us how to identify our current level of abilities or current level of understanding or mindset. So that is very, very important. But one thing is I like to ask, sir, because in the beginning I started with the 3 types of lives. So at a time, these 3 are going. One is professional life, what we work with the universities, etc., etc., and personal life, what is with my community, family, etc., and my private life. I have to talk to myself. So I don't understand how much time I will keep to talk to myself, because স্যার আপনি জানেন যে লালনের একটা গান আছে যে তোমার তুমি ফানা হলে, এই যে আমার আমি এই যে আইডেন্টিটিতে আমি আছি, আমি একজন প্রফেসর or I am a teacher or professor or something like that, and the dean, etc. So these identities sometimes cripple us. Sometimes if we are biased to this identity, sometimes if we forget this original work of ours, to give time to myself, to give time to family, to give time to my professional life. If I cannot ensure this balance, maybe it becomes very much painful for us. So, sir, one question to you: how we can have a balance, and how much time we usually need to give for ourselves, to talk to ourselves? That's the puzzle I'm facing. So what time I have to allocate for?
Good question. Remember, 24 hours is a very long time. Every day, 24 hours. The moment you learn how to use it. For example, let us say we are all teachers. Our duty hour is 8 hours a day for 5 days a week, 40 hours. What do you do with 40 hours? Do you realize that you write at a speed of 15 to 18 words a minute? I'm talking about handwriting. If you type at the speed of 30 to 40 words a minute. And I use a dictation software because of my arthritic problem. So because you don't have arthritis, you type at 30 to 40. I have arthritis, so I type at 100. Because I dictate. Now imagine if you are able to produce just 2 pages in an hour, which is average, how many pages you can produce? We need to structure the time and decide what I want to do. Time is not in short supply. Many times when I'm doing this kind of thing, I was doing the other day, a child was insisting on the mother to attend to her on the webinar. And mother was, I said, if you remove the child, I am going to put my mic off. Take the child on your lap and then attend to the. So I started gossiping with the child for some time. Whole question is, there is a beautiful concept when you read Jeremy. The concept is called autopiloting. You have many things that you do routinely. That autopilot mode has to be reconstructed. Your thinking. Professor Para has been working with me for many years. She has understood. She tells me, sir, once your thoughts are clear, your writing time is very small. I said, yes, that is autopiloting. Have I made my mind an autopilot to keep on thinking? Similarly, Professor, remember one thing, there is a concept called immersive thinking. When you think of something, think immersively. Because when you think immersively, all your brain neurons get activated, and what we call the antennas, they focus on only one thing. What you can produce in 1 year, 1 hour, you will not be able to produce in 8 hours of disturbed mind. So time management, and I'll say everything is important. But something which people don't like in me, I'll advise you, make life lighter. Lighter life makes you little lighter yourself. And the lighter person can think heavily. So my submission would be, time is really not in short supply. It is really a lot of time. Question is, how do you structure? And also remember, enjoying happiness is a necessary condition for good time management. If I ask you, since you are all from Bangladesh, how many of you can sing? Most of you? Because otherwise, another Bangali hoya jay na. Gungun na korte parle Bangali hoya jay. Right? So, I used to go on my examination day as a student while listening Rabindra Sangeet or Nazrul Giti. Somebody said, "Tu kya concert mein ja raha hai?" I said, "I'm going for examination, but you're singing." I said, "What can I do? That makes my mind work better." So what is important is, make a balance between happiness. Child within you is extremely important. Most of you have lost your child. That in the class we can be so easy, pulling leg, pulling, all those kind of stuff. Because we have still the child within us. Nurture the child. Child has no problem of time. So there are a lot of things to improve your personal effectiveness. Okay, as I told you that time is now, I have handed over the clock to Madhu Parar and to Professor. Otherwise, I am available as long as you want me.
Okay, thank you so much. There were a few questions. I thought yesterday that I will put it across to you because you have done a lot of work on program outcomes, course outcomes, and unit outcomes. Maybe we will take another one day means 2-hour session separately on that concept, because yesterday many of our colleagues from this Bangladesh Open University, they were asking these questions, and how to build, especially one question came was how to build curriculum based on your program outcomes and your course outcomes. So I thought I'll ask you, because sir has done a lot of work on these outcome based learning. But maybe we can have Professor Mustafa another 2-hour session or 1.5-hour session exclusively on the subject. But I must thank, because it's almost time, I must very sincerely express my gratitude to Professor Marwan Mukhopadhyay, sir, for his presentation. I need not say.
I'll make one statement. After that, you close it. When I first time went to Bangladesh, in Dhaka airport, first thing I did was I touched the soil of Bangladesh. I did my pranam, because the cultural inheritance is from that part of the country, that part of the land. Thank you for inviting me to meet, so many people from Bangladesh. I've not come to OpenU, I've done some other work in Bangladesh. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, I mean, it is not that we are saying overtly, but each one of them, they have expressed their sincere gratitude by praising, appreciating your presentation, and made us think about what we had lost and what we had forgotten. So once again, I thank you, and we will see how we collaborate, work with you, invite you again on few other topics, themes for discussion. Because let me tell each one of the colleagues from Open University, Sir has a different way of thinking, and that's what it is. I especially, as I said, I am his student. I appreciate and I learn from that. It is not the routine rut of the mill what is written in the books. He analyzes those concepts as what is present situation, and then synthesizes it. That's very, very important in our learning. So once again, sir, I thank you. With these words, I think we have come to almost the closure of this workshop. Just last one announcement I want to make, announcement or request from Professor Mustafa and others, that as you know, Dr. Manas has launched an academic course for the academic counselors. You have in your Open University 26,000 academic counselors. So if you can request them to enroll there. With these words, I thank, of course, sir, Professor Manan, the Vice Chancellor of the university, for having collaboration with SEMCA, and all of you, the colleagues, and of course, Professor Mustafa, who was coordinating from the other end, and Dr. Manas from our end. Once again, thank you so much. Manas and Mustafa, you have to have the last words.
Thank you very much, Professor Mukhopadhyay. That is, before taking this name, Professor Mukhopadhyay, it is coming always to my mind. First, not Sir, Gurudev. That Gurudev word is coming first instead of taking that name. While I am taking that name, I could touch my ear that I am daring to take that name. This is my thinking always behind it, and all these 4 days of the deliberations, what we have started 3 days before, and today we are ending up, but in virtual synchronous manner, but asynchronous we will continue as per our schedule, and all participants, colleagues from Bangladesh Open University, they agreed with us. And they have communicated to Professor Mustafa that they will come out with their metrics, which has been taught and we have been discussing last few days. And that metrics will guide them to prepare and come out with a model unit, which can be supported further to refining of these self-learning materials, which we have been discussed. And this session, today's session, will really add value while they are preparing their metrics. And this is the cross-cutting agenda, while being a content developer, being a teacher, being a lifelong learner. When they will prepare their metrics, it will be more helpful for all of us, Bangladesh Open University colleagues. And I hope so. We will, in a week of time, we will come out with these metrics, and which will be continuously provided feedback from Professor Santosh Panda. And this will become our output of this entire things. And when we will look into the couple of days, couple of months, when we will see new learning materials, whether it may be self-learning form or it may be the materials for online learning or blended learning, it will be happy. These components will be integrated, and that will become our outcome. And we will see the progress in the learners. That will become our impact of this entire session. With these words, now I can over to Professor Mustafa for last word as Professor Varar asked us to conclude and sign out the
Thanks a lot, Dr. Manash, and of course, Professor Madhu Madam for arranging this great opportunity for us. Of course, I must thank to our Honorable Vice Chancellor to initiate this journey. So, and of course, we all are very much grateful to Professor Marmar sir, because when I was talking to you in Edinburgh, you can recall that I told you, sir, how we can design a learning outcome meaningfully, because you got huge experience. And I am very much grateful to Professor Madhu Madam that she actually wants to invite you again to other sessions after we complete this matrix maybe. So you will come with us and you will be connected not only for this outcome designing or SLM designing. We need your support and need your ideas about how to identify a research problem, how to go with a research project, because you have vast knowledge on that. So I will be happy if Professor Madhu Madam give this opportunity, because we have a large number of young colleagues here who wants to know how clearly about these things, because we work with some problems, but we cannot specify a meaningful problem from the society. We cannot pick. So these are the issues we want to be more clarified, because this is a new journey. This is a new journey we started here under the leadership of the Honorable Vice Chancellor. A lot of changes are coming up in different terms, but we need to make everything meaningful. That's why sir is willing to ensure that we are getting this kind of support, this kind of scaffolding, sir, for us. So I must thank all my colleagues that they participated in this workshop. It is kind of unprecedented, because everybody was in this workshop and they were very much engaged and they were very much attentive. So we'll sit together and then we'll plan, because this workshop is a part of our journey. It is not a workshop. I never took it as a workshop. So when I have been proposed to become the coordinator, and then I talked to Professor Manas when he was designing this program, I said that okay, I will do this, but it should be a journey. It is not a single workshop, and after the workshop, everything will be vanished. We will forget everything. No. So they arranged two very great scholars, leaders in this area, and we got, they gave the best from them. So now it is our turn to take it further. And Simka is there. What Professor Madhu Madam said, that they are with us always to take this journey further. So we like to come out with some outputs. So if whatever necessary, we will do from within ourselves. Sometimes maybe institutional intervention. This is an institutional intervention. But after that, 1 month, 2 months, so we will work within ourselves. We may not need that institutional intervention. If we work together, then it can work. And then we'll come up some output. Then we'll go to Simca again, that these are the outputs. Now you can proceed with that. We need to have more clarification on these areas. So thank you very much, sir, once again, because it was my dream that we will get you connected. So it is a great opportunity for us that you are from this soil. You came here to support us. I personally, I'm grateful to Simca that they bring you here. And my young colleagues, they are the dream for this university. They are very smart and they are very much energetic. They want to learn. So that's why I thought that it's better to invest some time on them, because they are the future of this university. This university needs an identity nationally and internationally. I hope that this journey will not stop. We will achieve that goal. Thank you very much once again, all my colleagues, to be together, connected. Whenever the next meeting, we will sit after this workshop, how we can go. And please attend those meetings and try to contribute your ideas, because there is nothing top down. I like everything inside out. It will be a mainstreaming. Everybody will join and we'll discuss, and then we will plan. So then we will implement that plan. Thank you very much once again, Professor Mama sir, Professor Madhu madam, Dr. Manash, for all these arrangements, and of course, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, my colleagues.
Thank you very much. With due permission of Director Simka, Professor Madhukara, I am signing off this session for today. Thank you very much for joining with us.
Thank you.
Okay, Khuda Hafiz till we meet again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you.